What up, Suns fans? Suns come back from the long 5 days break and they get back into the win column against the Utah Jazz, a very much needed win in our season. Final score, Suns 134 to the Jazz 126. There is so much to talk about that has happened over these last 5 days, and we'll be getting to those in just a second. A lot of things happened tonight, but the Suns win. First of all, Suns are for the first time mostly healthy, with the exception of one player, which we will talk about more in just a second. But this is finally Suns fully healthy, and we got a win against Jazz. How did we get that win? Suns almost scored 40 points in 2 consecutive quarters. 38 in the first and 38 in the second. And the Jazz had 39 in the first. This was a offensive game. Okay, no defense. I don't know what defense is because I'm a Suns fan. Say what you want and be mad that the Suns barely got the win here. We got an 8-point victory margin, and at certain points of this game, the Utah Jazz were able to storm back. So say what you wanted about that and look at the negative sides of it. But what you wanted them to do. I mean, the fact that the Jazz just simply shot the ball crazy tonight. They had 22 made threes out of 39 attempts. That is more than half of their attempts going through that net. That is insane. And it's not like the Suns weren't playing defense. They're just leaving these guys wide open. Most of these were either contested, some of them with a hand in their face, right? These were just crazy shots, and especially by Jordan Clarkson, who kind of stole that first half away, but then just faded during the second half, which we desperately needed. Defense needed to be played. But I think it's a saying around here. Defense just never matters unless you have godly offense. It barely makes a difference. That's what was happening with the Jazz. They just blasted us. That first half was freaking crazy. Honestly, from a perspective of pure basketball, this game was art. It was quite beautiful the way each team just couldn't stop each other, and they were just making incredible basketball plays. Luckily, the Suns were able to step up their defense. The Jazz are terrible, and they are 5-19 for a reason, as we gave them 15 turnovers. This is the first game we haven't led in turnovers in quite a long time, so that is something to be happy about. We had 10 steals, 7 blocks, 36 assists. I don't care. A win is a win, and we led in these margins for once. After these days of losing all these games without KD, which thank God KD is back. It's so nice having KD back, and it's just amazing seeing him play. He was perfect from the line this game, 12 of 12 from the free throw line, and he threw on 30 points. Amazing. Although a little small concerning factor is that KD was bleeding a lot through this game. The Suns threw in a lot of effort. There were several occasions where the game had to be stopped just because there were Suns players that were bleeding, which only may happen once. It's not a normal occurrence that NBA players bleed, but I think it just goes to show how hard the Suns were playing tonight. They came out with energy, they came out with confidence, and they wanted to play basketball after so long, which is it's beautiful. And Suns basketball is fun again. So yeah, this game quite literally took blood, sweat, and we don't know if tears were involved. Maybe the Jazz side for putting up such a crazy shooting night and not walking away with the win here. I really think the Suns played an overall fantastic game here. It was just that the Jazz, they had 7 Steph Currys on their team the whole night. You can't do much about that other than just play your basketball and hope that they just knock themselves out of it, which luckily was what happened. So KD, welcome back. I'm not wearing your jersey tonight because I think the night was stolen by Booker. We've had a lot of complaints about Booker these past few games, but he comes back to Delta Center to claim his part-time ownership of the arena, as he gave us 34 points, as he did put on an offensive masterpiece. Very efficient 30 points. So very nice night for Book. Tyus Jones, another nice night. I've really run out of nice things to say about Tyus Jones here, because he's just always nice. But Tyus Jones, 19 points, 11 assists, just very great, and filled in the gaps, especially when offense was starting to run a little bit dry. He was there to able to sprinkle in a couple more threes. Yusuf Nurkic has also come back from his week-long hiatus. Nurk's so mixed, man. I like the guy. I like what he does. Just some nights like this, when you purely look at the stats, it's really hard to defend him. He had 12 points, 7 rebounds. He definitely got better over the course of the game, I would say. He was really crucial. I really liked most of the plays that he got his points from was off an assist, and then he does a little bit of this right over someone. Like, those were nice and very much needed points to continue this Suns offense. So yeah, Yusuf Nurkic, he also had 7 rebounds. Royce O'Neal also got the start for tonight. He had 17 points. Also very good. Yeah, Royce O'Neal over this last stretch has been really good. Just this whole road trip, he's been very, very solid. A lot of complaints about him have been his streakiness on his shooting, but I think he's put up a solid scoring effort over this Miami game, this Orlando game, and now this Jazz game, which we very much needed for all of those games. A few notable players on the bench. Grayson Allen, he did appear. He had some nice minutes, some nice hustle plays. 8 points though. Didn't really have the best night. But who did have the best night and is probably going to be cursed as I say this, but Ryan Dunn, 13 points. Just amazing. He had a crazy block, and offensively, he was able to find himself pretty well. He switched a couple threes, were able to do some nice layups, and for gosh sake, he tried to claim a man's life. There were so many moments during this game that the Suns player had tried to posterize someone, and that list includes Ryan Dunn, Royce O'Neal, and KD twice. If that also just doesn't show how great Suns were energetically this whole game, it shows for itself. Just amazing game from all those players. Those are just the ones I want to mention. The other guys were all right. So that's basically the game. All I have to say about the game. Suns are now 13-11. Our next game is against Portland, and that will be on Sunday. Take a quick look at the standings here. The Suns are now back in 8th. They are 13-11. We just need a run here. I said we could put up a solid run here like before Christmas. Utah and Portland, those are definitely must wins. Not only are we heavily favored for those games, but also we just need to gain our stride back. But yeah, but I think this is now where we talk about the good stuff. Over the 5 days, I don't know if you guys have been keeping up much with Suns social media, but the Suns have been involved with trade rumors around superstar player Jimmy Butler of Miami Heat fame, which we just faced. Very interesting. So, I mean, setting the stage here, right? It was on Twitter where I believe Shams mentioned this. That's the biggest part about this, is that Shams, a top ESPN reporter, I believe he was signed with ESPN, but like head guy for all the trade news and rumors around the league, made a tweet saying that Jimmy Butler is considering Phoenix as a trade spot. That's not exactly word for word, but Phoenix could end up a trade destination for Jimmy Butler, meaning we could possibly get Jimmy Butler. My reaction when it comes to Jimmy Butler possibly coming here to the Suns, I actually have 2 reactions to this. One, I really love trade talk. I love that the Suns are having trade rumors. I just love trade deadline stuff in general, and it gets me super excited about changing this team. And that's why I've been advocating that the Suns have been needing a change defensively. This team still sucks defensively, nor does it look like a championship roster, especially in a 9 record without KD when you have Booker and Beal. So obviously there's going to be need to be changes. So I'm already excited for that. I'm not like a trade machine nerd. I just generally know the Suns cap situation and their current assets that the Suns could trade. So there's that side of where I'm very curious. It's just the fact that Jimmy Butler could have a chance. There's a small chance, but it's still a chance that Jimmy Butler could be coming here to play as a Sun. Well, who does he place? Well, naturally, most assume Bradley Beal, as that's the only one who could be traded. As we know, his $50 million contract is definitely not reflective of the way he plays. And we're stuck on that contract for way longer than we want, and Bradley Beal's just always injured. Yeah. I mean, credit to Bradley Beal. I still like what he does on this team. I've had a lot of problems on him during the preseason, but he's definitely silenced me as when we started this season. He really fit in. made a lot of clutch plays, and it looks like the big three is back. The most questionable part is that he wasn't able to work with Booker alone, and they just continued to struggle. So that is a very concerning factor. And there's also the position. Book and Bill are both shooting guards, so it's weird having two shooting guards, and then now Tyus Jones. But then there's the other side of me, all right? The second side, where I am very cautious about this. This is the more like realistic and doubtful side of me, as you know, it's a very slim margin, okay? Because this Jimmy Butler trade can go a lot of different directions. I mean, even in the tweet that Shams tweeted about this, is that Jimmy Butler was in consideration for Phoenix. He did consider Phoenix as a destination, but like he also included Houston, Warriors, and Dallas. Those teams have a lot more to offer than what we have here at the Suns. So once you really just look into the details of all of this, it starts becoming more and more unlikely that the Suns would consider this trade. So many other Suns talkheads have come out saying that Bill could possibly stay with this team because this office believes in this team. I mean, the big three, it's really good. I've been saying we need to be more defensive on this team. So I mean, getting rid of Bill and then replacing him with Jimmy, it would solve a lot of issues and make this team slightly better. But I don't know. That's still not like solving the main problem on the Suns, I believe. I feel it'd still be trouble defensively. I mean, while it would probably make our starting lineup better, you know, the Suns are still pretty short with all their substitution guys. So I don't know. I just generally think Jimmy Butler coming to the Suns is very unlikely. Would I love it to happen? Absolutely. Heck yeah. But as it stands, I just don't. It's not going to happen, folks. But for now, the Suns are still the Suns. We have KD back. We need to start winning again. And, you know, if it's not Jimmy Butler that we're going to be trading for, but we do need just more length, more bigs on this team. Defense is still a huge issue. So I hope we get that ironed out instead of adding another star that could possibly ruin just the chemistry. I'm not saying that Jimmy Butler is like a toxic asset, but like just saying that like we already have so much chemistry between the big three. They have a whole year of experience of playing with each other. It would take some time to figure out this new system. But yeah, so we will be seeing the Suns and more in just a couple more days against the Portland Trailblazers. Let's just get back on the winning side things. This Western Conference is still very crowded, so we need as many wins as we can. Okay? We come back December 15th against the Portland Trailblazers. Take care, everyone. Have a good night. We got the dub. That's all that matters. And if you like this content, please subscribe, like, and comment. We will be back here with more, and we will see you all later. Bye.